Hi, welcome to our first grammar lecture. Types of sentences. أنواع الجمل من ناحية structure in English. في الإنجليش احنا عندنا كام نوع جملة؟ عندنا 4 أنواع. And please pay attention because this lecture is a little bit difficult. The 4 kinds of basic sentences in English are simple, compound, complex, and compound complex sentences. عندنا 4 أنواع أساسيين من الجمل في الإنجليزية: simple, compound, complex, and compound complex. The terms may be new to you, but if you can recognize subject and verbs, you should be able to identify and write any of the 4 kinds of sentences. الأسماء ممكن تكون جاية غريبة علينا شوية واحنا مش عارفينها، ما عملناش سمعنا قبل كده على الأنواع دي، بس المكونات بتاعتها معروفة لينا كلنا، فعشان كده it is very easy to detect the 4 kinds of sentences. The only new idea to master is the concept of the clause. اليونت بتاعتي أو الوحدة بتاعتي اللي بتقولي إذا كانت دي simple ولا compound ولا complex حاجة اسمها كلوز. انا لازم ابقى فاهم الكلوز كويس قوي علشان اقدر افرق ده simple compound complex ولا compound complex. Let's see. A clause is a group of words with a subject and a verb that function as part or all of a complete sentence. The 2 clauses are independent أو main, dependent أو subordinate. يبقى الكلوز دي عبارة عن group of words، مجموعة من الكلمات، فيها subject وفيها verb. الكلوزز عندي نوعين، يا إما independent ليها اسم تاني main، يا إما dependent ليها اسم تاني subordinate. نشوف الفرق ما بينهم. نبتدي بالindependent أو المين clause. An independent or main clause is a group of words with a subject and a verb that can stand alone and make sense. يبقى الindependent احنا اتفقنا ان هي فيها subject وفيها verb وتقدر لوحدها to make sense، تعمل لي complete thought. An independent clause expresses a complete thought by itself and can be written as a separate sentence. She plays the bass guitar. The manager is not at fault. I have the money. كل دول independent. I have the money for example. في subject في subject اللي هو I. في verb اللي هو have. عملت لي complete thought لوحدها، ادتني فكرة لوحدها، الفكرة اكتملت. أيوة الفكرة اكتملت. I have the money. يبقى معناها دي أنا بسميها يا independent clause يا main clause. Independent بقى a group of words with subject verb that depends on a main clause to give its meaning. يبقى الفرق بين الديبندنت والindependent ان الديبندنت ما ادتنيش complete thought على الرغم ان فيها subject، على الرغم ان فيها verb. زي هنا since Shannon came home. since Shannon came home عندي subject عندي subject اللي هي Shannon، عندي verb عندي verb اللي هو came. since Shannon came home ايه اللي حصل since Shannon came home؟ الفكرة مش واضحة، يبقى معنى كده دي dependent أو subordinate clause. since Shannon came home her mother has been happy. her mother has been happy دي independent clause. يبقى هنا ال dependent clause اعتمدت على واحدة تانية independent to give me the complete meaning. ال dependent clause cannot stand alone. It needs an independent clause in order to give a complete meaning. Like second example, because she was needed. Because she was needed. Where is the subject? She. Verb was needed. Because she was needed. Does it give me a complete thought? No, it doesn't. This makes it a dependent clause. She stayed in the game because she was needed. يبقى هنا اضطرينا ان احنا ندخل لها independent clause اللي هي she stayed in the game. She stayed in the game. That's an independent clause. علشان تدي ال dependent اللي هي because she was needed عشان تديها complete thought. Simple sentence. A simple sentence consists of one independent clause and no dependent clauses. It may contain phrases and have more than one subject and or verb. A simple sentence يعني ايه simple sentence؟ ال simple sentence عبارة عن واحدة independent clause، واحدة main clause. يبقى ال main clause هياها ال independent clause هياها ال simple sentence. ال simple sentence دي tricky جدا، ممكن تبقى قصيرة جدا، ممكن تبقى طويلة جدا، بس هي في النهاية simple sentence. بتتكون من ايه؟ مرة تاني بتتكون من just one independent clause. ومعايا examples كتيرة. The lake looks beautiful in the moonlight. هنا أنا عندي one subject one verb. The army, navy and marines sent troops to the disaster area. عندي three subjects. هما فين ال three subjects؟ الارمي والنavy والمارينز. وجust one verb. We sang the old song and danced happily at their wedding. عندي one subject وعندي two verbs اللي هما sang and danced. My father, mother and sister came to the school play, applauded the performers and attended the party afterwards. عندي three subjects with three verbs. يبقى again ال simple sentence دي very tricky. ممكن تبقى قصيرة جدا، ممكن تبقى he reads بس simple sentence. ممكن تبقى طويلة زي last example. My father, mother and sister came to the school play, applauded the performers and attended the party afterwards. عندي three subjects with three verbs. بس هي simple sentence ليه؟ عشان فيها واحدة بس independent clause، ما فيهاش خالص dependent. النوع الثاني ال compound sentences. A compound sentence consists of two or more independent clauses with no dependent clauses. تمام؟ يبقى ال compound sentence فيها اثنين أو أكتر independent clauses وما فيهاش خالص independent. زي هنا أنا عندي اثنين أهو independent clauses. He opened the drawer, he found his missing desk. He opened the drawer, he found his missing desk. بس هم بالمنظر ده عبارة عن two simple sentences مكتوبين جنب بعض كده، لسه ما بقوش compound sentence. أعملهم الاثنين simple sentences دول إزاي أعملهم compound sentences؟ عندي أكتر من طريقة. في طريقتين. Here are two ways to join the independent clause to form a compound sentence. أول طريقة the two independent clause can be connected by a connecting word called coordinating conjunction. Coordinating conjunction are for and nor, but or yet so. بنسميهم fan boys. يبقى أول طريقة علشان to join two independent clauses أو two simple sentences ونخليهم just one sentence إن إحنا نحط كما وبعديهم واحدة من ال coordinating conjunctions أو ال fan boys اللي هم for and nor, but or yet so. For example, he opened the drawer, comma, and he found his missing desk. He opened the drawer, comma, and he found his missing desk. He opened the drawer, comma, so he found his missing desk. هنا two simple sentences أو two independent clauses عملناهم just one sentence. Use a comma before the coordinating conjunction fan boys between two independent clauses until one of the clauses is extremely short. لو الاثنين تقريبا قد بعض ال two simple sentences أو two independent clauses اللي أنا بعمل لهم عملية الجوين علشان أخليهم just one sentence قد بعض بنحط comma. الطريقة الثانية another way to join independent clauses to form a compound sentence is to put semicolon between the clauses. He opened the drawer, semicolon, he found his missing desk. تمام؟ يبقى أنا ما أقدرش أحط semicolon وبعديها for example and. لأ، لو عايزين نستخدم conjunction يبقى نستخدم الكوما. semicolon السيميكولن بتبقى لوحدها، وطبعا بعد السيميكولن الحرف اللي بيجي بعدها بيبقى small مش capital. Complex sentences. A complex sentence consists of one independent clause and one or more dependent clause. فيها واحدة بس independent والباقي بقى واحدة 2 3 أي عدد مش مهم dependent، بس واحدة بس independent. When lilacs are born we love to visit friends. عندي واحدة dependent اللي هي when lilacs are born، وواحدة بعديها independent. واحدة dependent وواحدة independent، يبقى على طول complex sentence. مثال تاني although it rained last night. although it rained last night دي dependent. we decided to take the path that led through the woods. أنا عندي واحدة independent واثنين dependent. الديبندنت الثانية اللي هي محطوط تحتها خط that led through the woods. واحدة independent واثنين dependent برضو بقت complex sentence. أما بقى النوع الأخير compound complex. The compound complex sentence consists of 2 or more independent clauses and 1 or more dependent clauses. الcomplex compound بيبقى فيها 2 or more 2 أو أكتر independent و 1 or more dependent. Albert enlisted in the army and Jason who was older Albert enlisted in the army and Jason who was his older brother joined him a day later. الindependent الأولانية Albert enlisted in the army. الindependent الثانية Jason joined him a day later. الدependent بقى who was his older brother. بقت كده compound complex. دلوقتي أنا عندي جمل و try to decide is it simple, compound, complex ولا compound, complex. كده شكل الأسئلة يجي إزاي؟ أجيب لك sentence وأقول لك شكلها دي إيه simple, compound, complex ولا compound, complex. Sentence number 1. The Titanic, a British passenger liner, began its maiden voyage from England to New York on April 10, 1912. دي عبارة عن إيه؟ Yes, it's simple sentence. Good. Number 2. It was the largest and most luxurious ship ever built and it carried 2,227 passengers and crew members. الأولانية دي إيه؟ It was the largest and most luxurious ship ever built. دي independent clause. It carried 2,227 passengers and crew members. واحدة تانية independent clause. يبقى independent clause تانية and joined by comma and دي واحدة من الفان هنا دي بقت ايه؟ yes compound sentence. اللي بعدها the human brain never stops working until you stand up to speak in public. The human brain never stops working until you stand up to speak in public. The human brain never stops independent clause until you stand up to speak in public dependent clause. واحدة dependent وواحدة independent بقت ايه؟ بقت complex sentence. Last one. I stopped believing in Santa Claus when he asked for many autographs in a department store, but I still want to believe in him. I stopped believing in Santa Claus, independent, when he asked for my autograph in a department store, independent, but I still to believe in him, dependent. يبقى أنا عندي واحدة independent وبعد كده dependent وبعد كده dependent بقت compound complex sentence. Thank you. That's it for today and enjoy the rest of your evening.